The Subaru Outback, the Mazda Miata, the Chevrolet Corvette. All of these cars have different buyer demographics, sales volumes, and histories, but they all have one thing in common: the great combustion engine. But if it's up to Mark Carney and his Liberal government, none of these cars will be sold the way they were meant to be, the way they've been built for years, by the year 2035. And that's because the Carney government is imposing an electric vehicle mandate on Canadians. By 2035, all brand new cars sold in Canada must be electric cars. And that's a fiat that's been given out by the federal government. It is a mandate. And that means that if you go to a showroom in 2035 to buy a new car, every single car in that showroom is going to have to be electric. And if you think this is some future problem, it's not. The mandate says that 20% of all new vehicles sold next year have to be electric, and 60% of all new vehicles sold by the year 2030 have to be electric. Now, why would the government be mandating this? You can ask a first grader, and they will give you a very simple answer. Mandates are put in place when people don't want to buy things. Right now, at a peak last summer, 14% of all new cars sold in Canada were electric. And since that peak, sales have been declining, investment in the EV industry has been declining, and we've seen south of the border, for example, that EV mandates there have been axed. So it's very clear that the federal government is mandating this because they know there are not enough people out there wanting to buy EVs, and so they're going to force Canadians to buy EVs in the future. But this is really all about consumer choice. Consumers should be able to choose what kind of cars they want to buy. If you want to go out and buy an electric car, you should be able to do so. But if you want to buy a hybrid car or a combustion engine car, you should also be able to do so. Gas-powered cars are becoming more and more efficient by the year, and so they should not be banned simply because the Liberal government has a radical, net zero ideological agenda that is pushing towards mandates in an area where consumers should have choice and nothing should be fully mandated. So Mark Carney and the Liberal government need to wake up and listen to reality. Consumers don't want to have to buy all electric cars within 10 years, and we don't want an electric vehicle mandate. It's time for the electric vehicle mandate to go. We've seen that there are car companies that previously committed to investing in new EV models and building factories such as Ford and Stellantis and Honda. They are all pulling back because sales volumes are down and people just don't want to buy them at the numbers that the government wants them to be bought at. But living in a democratic country like Canada, we should not be forced to buy an electric car. It should be up to the consumer as to what kind of car the consumer wants to buy. The government has no business in dictating what cars are being shown in the showrooms of the nation. So this is why it's time to put consumers back in the driver's seat, and it's time to finally repeal the electric vehicle mandate.